This is a video about a common problem with bay windows. That being, they seem to get a lot of mould quite often if they're not insulated properly. So this is me hacking off the old plaster and re-insulating it with PIR board. In this case I use 60mm PIR board to insulate it, so hopefully it should be okay now. The only bit I didn't show was that on the other gaps near the front I used expanding foam to fill up the small areas which were difficult to fill up with the PIR board. So hopefully this will help you out and sort your problem with your bay window. You should wear a mask doing this, of course. Reality is we're doing it day in, day out. It's can be a real pain wearing a mask. As somebody on the last video mentioned quite rightly that Artex on ceilings can contain asbestos. And he's quite right, yeah, it can do, can have traces of asbestos. You're not going to get away from it in the building game, unfortunately, no matter what you do. So yes, you can wear a mask, but you try wearing a mask all day. It's really difficult to do a heavy, hard, physical job while having a mask on. It's just not even possible. So it's just hazards of the job is what I call it. If you do come across asbestos, then you do need to get it tested, obviously, and deal with it. You know, get the professionals in to deal with it. What I've done is I've opened the window here, and I can see all the dust going straight out because I've got a window open at the other end of the house as well. So natural convection is what I call it. That looks pretty good in behind there, all things considered. Let that dust go out. I can see it all flying out that way, so that's good. Have the bucket to hand, don't make a pile and then sweep it up, just put it straight in if you can. Makes it a lot easier, keeps the site a bit clearer. The problem is with the asbestos thing, is that people think, oh, it's just in ceilings and Artex and things like that. The truth of it, sadly, is that it's absolutely everywhere. It's in brick dust, you know, certain types of asbestos. You'll never get away from it. All you can do is do your best to avoid it. But it is one of those, just one of those things. I hate it, but it's just part of the job, unfortunately. So that's a good thing. Right then, guys, so a few minutes later, let's have a little look into what we have here. So it looks like, let's get the torch. Looks like there's been a little bit of damp coming in through at some point. There is a leak in between that windowsill there and where the bricks meet, but I can sort that out at a later date once I get the scaffolding up outside, which will be at some point. So all of it seems quite, you know, not too bad. It's we've got a few big gaps in here, but that's not a problem because that is actually where the overlap is anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to insulate it with PIR board and just create that barrier between the house and the outside. So I'm going to put the PIR board close to the front of here. It's 60mm board, and I want a bit of ventilation in behind, so anything that does get a bit damp has got some convection of air going through to dry it out and just to keep things sweet. All right, so it's just the inside that we're trying to create that barrier from, which is the important thing because that's where the condensation was coming through. So that's what's, you know, where warm air meets cold air. Is how it congregates. So down there again, it probably looks awful to you guys who are not in the know, but it's structurally sound, and that is the main thing. You know, that is the important thing. There's a bit of a weird damp patch on the side. I have no idea how that's got there, but again, might be able to put that down to condensation or something else. So yeah, did have a damp patch up on the edge there as well, but I'm gonna do something with that as well and then plasterboard it after. There was some water coming in here, as I say, whereas hopefully that will soon be sorted once I sort outside a bit more. So quite common for it to get damp or wet in there, just the way that the water works and how it drains in. So yeah, well, I'll get insulating now. There you go, folks. So that is it insulated now. So that PIR board at 60mm, so that's going to give us loads and loads of thermal protection within the room. On the other side, there's still ventilation of about 25mm for air to pass through and avoid any condensation, and just to keep the air moving in behind the insulation. Now, technically speaking, some people might say, well, what are you going to do about the code bridges, which is basically the places where it's not insulated. So what you can do is put insulation on top of what we've done there, just to cover up the wooden stakes there. Not worth it, you know. It's a place to draw the line with any job, and I'm drawing the line on that, so there's no need to do that. So hopefully that should solve the damp problem in behind there, and it won't go mouldy next time. And yeah, all good stuff. We're doing well here. So I'm going to get that plasterboarded now. So in the end, I ended up using vaporboard around the window, as you can see here. It's a relatively simple job, but obviously you need to get the trades in to be able to plaster it after and replace the skirting board. So hopefully that'll help you out in your project, or if you have an issue with your bay window, then at least you have an idea of why it is. It's not to do with ventilation, generally speaking, but there can be some other reasons for it as well, like leaking front tiles, or even a leaking windowsill can cause this. So, but overall, these places do need to be insulated to stop the mould, and certainly with houses that have got central heating, like all houses have these days, then this is what you need to do. So, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Check out my videos at the end for more